Hey guys, this is Jonesy at CKC Garage, and today's video is going to be about adding custom one-off taillights to a Corvette C7. Now you can use this on other models, so take this knowledge and you can implement it to your model that only has those lame Powerwheels stickers. A lot of models used to have like real acrylic lenses, but now a lot of them just come with stickers that you stick on there, and well, they get wet or even damp a couple times and they just fall apart. Plus they don't look real. It's literally my favorite part of building custom Powerwheels is making them realistic and adding taillights, headlights, turn signals. We're going to get into some Powerwheels Mustangs, and we're going to do sequential light kits, so it's actually like a real car. So you guys need to make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell so that you get updates on our next video. This one's going to be just on the taillights, but we are going to do a video on installing headlights using Eagle Eyes. And there's so many different headlights options out there. You got to be careful and not order the wrong ones. So we're going to get into the specifics of what size and how to install those into the light bezels. So make sure you subscribe. And then the last video we're probably going to do on this Corvette, because you guys are probably getting sick of the C7 information from us, is using Power Tools adapters, 3D printed adapters. This is 12 volts. So this is what we're going to use for the lighting, because we're going to make this thing 3 times as fast as it normally came from the factory by using an 18 volt Power Tools adapter. So stay tuned for those videos. Okay, now this model comes with just stock lame stickers. We'll put a picture here. Now that just doesn't work for me, so we figured out a way to actually add Lexan, which is a brand, it's polycarbonate lenses. We prefer the red. I think it looks the best, but in this version that I'm going to walk you through, we have some smoked acrylic. So this is just plexiglass. I do have to caution you guys that it's cheaper, and it's for a reason, because this stuff is very brittle. Unlike Lexan, you can literally put in a sheet metal brake and bend it. It will not break. It's the bulletproof glass. When I first started out, I was doing the acrylic because it was way cheaper. Because you buy, you know, a foot by foot, it's like 15 bucks, you know, it's kind of expensive. So this particular one was actually recycled from an electric fireplace that didn't work anymore, and I scavenged it and got the acrylic out, but you can see it's very, very brittle. So you still can use it, but you've got to be careful. Even when you're drilling it, you want to have it on like a piece of 2x4 when you drill, because I've blown it out before. You work really hard and you get it all cut out and it's all perfect, and the last step is to drill the holes to put it on and crack. So acrylic, no good. So what we did is we went on Amazon, because everybody has Amazon, right? And we found this acrylic cast, and this is going to save you guys a step, because also in the past is we'd cut out clear Lexan and we'd have to paint it either with Nightshades smoke or Nightshades red. That's what this is right here. That's what's on the old project over here. Clear, painted on the inside so it was smooth and red on the outside. So I'm trying to make this easier for you guys, because honestly, this mod, I consider this a 9 out of 10 probably. This is mod level master. We're going to be doing soldering, cutting, drilling, sanding, filing. It involves a lot of kind of big tools like a bandsaw or a scroll saw. So this is pretty involved mod, because you're working with just a piece of blank flat plastic and we're going to be drilling holes. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you guys are going to need to do is create a template. Okay guys, so the first step, we have to make a template, right? We have to have something to cut it out with. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some painter's tape, and I tell you what, this stuff is made to peel off, but I'd still recommend taking your pieces and putting it on your pant leg to make it even less sticky, because it can be kind of tricky. Oh, hey, this isn't the first step if this is used. So this is brand new. If you guys already have the stickers, you're gonna have to get those off. The easiest way is taking a heat gun and heat those up and peeling them off. You might want to get the residue off of there with some rubbing alcohol is usually what we use. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your tape and you're going to put it over the area that you're going to be templating. And what we like to use is these vinyl application tools. It helps us kind of get it right in to the groove, exactly in the spot. And I'm gonna do another sheet of this. All right, so once you got it pressed in all the way around the perimeter, you're gonna take your little X-Acto knife and you're just gonna basically cut it right in the edge. All right, once you got the template cut out, you're going to peel it off. And now you have an exact stencil of the inside of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to just put it on your poster board. Like so. And cut it out. All right, so once it's cut out, you're just going to lay it on your material and trace it. Times 2. Cut that out, and then once you have that, you're going to measure. We centered it, and then we just got all our measurements for this particular one, but you guys should be able to figure this out. It looked like it was 1 7/8 from each one, so that there's going to be 3. And what we're using is these pucks. That's what I call them anyways. Now, the old version that we used to get used to have these 2 tabs, and you'd actually have to desolder that. That's how we did it anyways. But these new ones, it's all part of the disc itself. So we've done it both ways. We've actually drilled the holes and glued the LED pucks in, and then we've also soldered up everything and then glued it in. We personally think that it's easiest to glue it in. That way you don't need your helping hand when you're soldering and everything's already hard mounted. The only thing that you do need to do, and I guarantee that you will regret it if you don't, is testing each and every LED. So you're going to need some alligator clips and a little 12-volt battery, and test your LEDs. These are not polarity specific, so you can do negative to positive, positive to negative. It doesn't matter. It just needs a complete circuit. And this one, brand new, was dead. No good. So I would hate for you guys to do all this work, glue it in, solder it up, go to turn it on, and one of the LEDs doesn't work. So please, you know it comes from China. Everything comes from China. So test the LEDs first. So, so basically what you're going to do is make a template, and you're going to lay it on your piece of acrylic or Lexan, trace it out, cut it out. We use a bandsaw for the big part, and then we use our little Dremel scroll saw, which is fabulous for the little intricate stuff because you can get around tight radiuses and stuff. And then we have our orbital belt sander here that we're going to finish it and get it all nice and smooth and looks perfect, that it fits right inside your hole. So pretty straightforward. Well, because it's flat plastic, you need to actually recess these lenses. So you're going to drill a hole with a paddle drill bit, and you're going to glue the lenses in the back. Does that make sense? So I will demonstrate this in the video, that you lay it out and you hot glue gun the 3 lenses in, and then you're going to go through and you're going to solder each one in. And then you're going to do it to the other side, and then you connect the 2, and from those 2 connections it's going to wire up to your rocker switch, this little guy that's going to be next to your shifter. That's pretty much the only place to put it. So that being said, that's pretty much the installation, other than slapping on the lens cover, drilling through, and bolting it up. So I'm going to bring the camera in, and we're going to show you guys how we install taillights in the Powerwheels C7. So we're at the point where we're going to need to lay out the template and take our measurements of where we want the LEDs, because you've got to take note of where the mounting bolts are, so you don't want to drill a hole there. So what we came up with is 1 7/8 from the center, and there's going to be 3 of those from the back, if that makes sense. So we're going to mark those. Mark those holes. And you're going to drill that with a 13/16 drill bit. Okay, so once you've got all 6 of those holes drilled, the next step is just see how these LEDs, see if we can focus here, are round, but the LEDs themselves are more of an oval. So what you're going to have to do on each end, you're going to have to ovalize that. Does that make sense? So that's where you take your Dremel tool and you make it elongated. Same concept here, guys, is go slow and get it so that it fits nice and tight in there. So that's what you're looking for, guys, is a nice tight fit so that the LEDs will basically hold themselves in place. Okay, so once you got all of your holes drilled and cut to fit, I like to go through and clean up all of the little boogers with an X-Acto knife, inside and out. Okay, so now that you've got those all drilled, we're going to actually have to remove this rear section. And it's 11 screws. And I'm going to tell you the tip right now, because if you've got kids around, you are going to be cussing. So the secret is there's 8 screws that are accessible. So there's 1, 2, can you see that all? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 underneath. So what you're going to use is a long screwdriver to get the ones. Oh, this has got the wheels off. So if you've still got your wheels on, you're going to want to use a long screwdriver to get up in there, because it's right at this apex here of the two panels. So you're going to take those out. But the hard one is there's 3 screws underneath this little spoiler. And the key is you're going to have to take, you can see at the end here, there's 2 little kind of knobs. You're going to have to pry the plastic keepers around there, and that'll allow that to pop up, and then you can remove the 3 screws and then pull that off, and that's where we're going to work on the bench and do some soldering. Okay guys, so once you've got the holes drilled and elongated and your LEDs fit perfectly in there, it's time to set them in place. So on this side you can see we've already done it. We laid them in, we glued them, and then we soldered. We just found that that's the easiest for us to do. So what I'd recommend is laying them in place and then putting some tape to make sure that all of your lines are straight across from each other. Otherwise you're going to have to heat that up with a heat gun, and you can tweak those a little bit with the hot glue. So we got our hot glue gun here. We're just going to do the top half. Check, make sure that they're all right where you want them. And glue it up. Okay guys, so now that those are all glued up, we're going to let those harden up, and what you're going to need is some 22 gauge LED wiring. We'll put all the links in the description of the video to the products that we use today. So if you guys don't have a soldering gun, you're going to have to watch some soldering how-to videos and pick up a soldering gun. I mean, there's just no way around it. You have to solder. We love this Milwaukee cordless. It works perfect for us. My bit of advice for soldering is keep everything clean, your tip, and most importantly is flux. Flux on every single thing. Every time I've ever tried to cheat and not put flux on a wire, it's failed. It just doesn't like to flow. It's a mild acid and it's a cleaner. It helps the solder flow. So what you're going to need also obviously is your solder. So to start out with, you're going to need your cutters. Okay guys, so to wire this up, you're going to need some 22 gauge wire, which we got a roll of it here. And we are going to start by doing 2 4-inch strips, roughly. Not rocket science, you just definitely don't want it to be too short. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's always better to be longer than you need. Alright, so we're going to strip these. So basically, to show you guys if you're not comfortable with wiring, we're just going to daisy chain. I'll put a picture in the video too, but that's all we're going to do, guys. So we're going to strip these, and we're going to put these 2 starting on the outside over. The best wire strippers money can buy. Okay, so once you got all those ends stripped, you're going to pair up your negatives. Hopefully this is in focus. And you're going to twist those together. Okay. Then you're going to dip it in your flux. And then this next step is called tinning. You're going to need to tin your copper. So this is going to bond these 2 together. Now those 2 wires are solid. They're connected to each other. So it's going to look like this. And I like to take the stripped ends and twist them And might as well take the rest of that roll of wire. I've got two separate strands here, so it's kind of confusing me. So we're just going to take the end of the roll here, and we're going to strip that as well. And we're going to twist that to one of the ends. So basically this is connecting all of the LEDs together. A little dippy in the fluxy, get her all lubed up. And then I like to just hold the soldering iron and the wire all together. And the last ones are actually going to be the first ones we're going to solder. Okay guys, so we got everything soldered up. We got it glued in the back. Now we got to put the lenses that you guys made in the pockets and give it a test drive. So we're going to leave the plastic coating on, and we're just going to drill our holes like a 1/2 inch in from the end in the center. Same thing. Boy, that's a good fit. Clean her all out. And this is the satisfying part. Just peeling off the protective coating. Like a fresh sunburn peel. And if you wanted to, you could just peel off the ends and get your teeny tiny little button head screws with your lock nuts. Not too tight because you don't want to crack that acrylic. And once we get these guys in, we're going to light it up like a National Lampoon's Christmas. Okay, so we went from a plain Jane stickered C7 rear end to custom Lexan lenses. In this case, we used acrylic. It saved a lot of time. You didn't have to paint it like we used to with the old way that we did it. So we're actually really happy with the Lexan, or the acrylic from Amazon. And we are Amazon affiliate members, so anything that you buy from the links in our description, we do get a small commission, so it helps us make these videos. So let's see what it looks like, guys. Bam! Taillights. All right, so all that's left really is reinstalling this with your 11 screws, putting in the rear spoiler, and we're not going to go through the whole process of wiring it up to the rocker switch yet. We will put the rocker switch in the description, but we are going to get ready to film the next video of installing headlights, rocker switch, and the 12-volt Milwaukee battery adapter. It's a 3D printed adapter, and we've got tons of batteries around here. I think a lot of people do. And then the very last video, I think it's gonna be the last video, we're gonna do upgrading the speed to triple the speed from 2.5 miles an hour to 7 miles an hour using a 3D printed 18-volt Milwaukee battery adapter. So this is way too small, but you're gonna just basically click it into here. It's really small, it'll fit in the stock compartment, no hacking, no cutting. So that's gonna be on the next kind of bucket list for getting these videos done for these C7s. So guys, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell. And stay tuned and happy modding, guys. Thanks for watching.